I forgot to change the... Can you hear me now? Now you should be able to hear me. Anyway, I can replay this. Let's replay this. Hold on. I am replaying it. So we can go from the start. Okay. Now I have to hear. I got to change I switched the microphones because I finally figured out what was going on. YouTube was messing up my sound after I was uploading the videos when it was processing them. And it was because of the microphone I was using. So I ordered a different microphone, and this one seems to work perfectly. And I had forgotten to switch the setting in the streaming software. So as you can see, I am doing the holes for the pendant. And I did the first hole with the smallest drill. And I did then measure with my blades going from the middle one up in a straight angle to be able to measure where to put my second hole. Then with the pinch bales, you have to be very, very careful when you open them. I normally hold like this with my fingers so I wouldn't by mistake push with the pliers too hard, because they may snap right here. And then once you put them and you fix them in the hole that you just poked in, then use first your fingers. Most of the time it will be enough to pull together the pinch bale, but if you need to use plier, use it only at the very end, and be very careful because it's very easy to mistake and then press too hard with the pliers, and that's going to break the edge of your piece, whatever you're using. So after that, all I had to do, because I had already done last evening all the connections with the double coil jump rings, and I saw that a lot of the ladies were absolutely enthralled with the pliers for the double coil jump rings, and already ordered a few. Yes, you can find them in my Amazon influencer store in the tools, and I think that I put some in the jewelry findings as well. So as I had already put these, I'm putting on the camera only this one, and you see how you first snap with the pliers the double coil ring, then you can put it in, and then I'm using the very, very thin nosed pliers to turn it around. And this helps me a lot, because remember that I do have a lot of issues with my hands. So yeah, they are awesome. They saved me a lot of pain and a lot of trouble when trying to put stuff together. Then, as you can see, I put the double coil ring first on this end of the bead, and then I'm going to get it through the end of the pinch bale. And I'm doing this for both. I did already, and I told you yesterday evening what I was going to do, that I was going to put the beads in like 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So all the feathers would hang at the same distance from the pendant, and this gives it an even better suggestion of dream catcher. I ended up not using any kind of jewelry cement on the big jump rings, because there was no way. There's just I don't know, maybe like 1/5 of a millimeter space here, and using the double coils, those are much thicker than the little space that's there, so there's no danger that they would slide out. And then all I did was simply to measure, and remember I have all that chain from breaking apart all kinds of jewelry that I get from the Chinese jewelry store for between $1 and $2. And I measured. So what I wanted to have my necklace about right at the bottom of my cleavage, if that makes any sense. Because what you have to think when you're making any kind of necklace with a large pendant, if you think about how your cleavage goes, if you make it too high, because your cleavage comes like this, right? If you make it too high, and you have your cleavage here, it's going to kind of drop in your cleavage and you'll only see the top of it. If you make it too, again, just a little bit longer, it's going to sit like this on your chest. You have to make it so this part, it's right where your breasts are the most prominent. And that is what will make the pendant hang nicely and have all these feathers hang beautifully and swing as you walk, as you move, as you everything. So what I did, I measured my chain, then I used double coil rings here to connect the chain. Then I did one double coil ring here at the very end for the lobster clasp to go through, and then another double coil ring to attach the lobster clasp to the chain. And that was pretty much it. It wasn't a lot of difficulty to finish this one. And then, as I said, because I ended up with too many beads, and of course you can simply, if you want, you can not make the faux turquoise and the faux coral and just use this bead, use all 3 beads on each side. But as I had 2 extra beads, I simply made them into earrings so they would match the necklace. And what I did, I simply put a large jump ring that it's one of those very hardy ones. It's kind of hard to open and close, so I knew that it wouldn't come off, to attach another leaf from the bead, and the bead was already wired with the little glass beads here. And then I simply attached it to the earring finding. So I'm going to now, because there's a small delay, remember what you see on your screen is not, it's a little bit later than what I see on my screen. So now I'm going to watch the chat to see if you have any kind of questions. But all in all, it's a very, very nice necklace, and I thought I probably will make something in this style again and go through that style that I was talking to you about yesterday, with a combination of conchos and leather and charms and stones. They don't involve so much working with the polymer clay and stuff. They involve more the excuse me, the creation of the necklaces themselves, and how to do the various elements. Because, for example, this would be one of the elements. Creating this kind of tassels, some of the things you can actually attach charms and conchos and other things to the tassels, but you need a softer suede, and definitely not one that is faux suede. You need the regular deal. Because for those you need a type of cord that is very, very soft and very bendable. The regular faux suede cord that you get is fairly rigid. It's not very... Okay, let me get this off. Now I can get back here. So Grazie, Gabriela. Okay, any of you has any questions about this? Once again, remember that if you want, you can make these all glossy, the beads, you can make them all glossy, but I would not suggest that because they are pretty much intended to look like either a loom, bead loom work or painted wood, and usually those are not super shiny. So I didn't go, I only went to like 800 grit on them, and then I used the small buffing wheel on them. But it would be much easier if you have hand issues. Go with like a 600 grit, and then you can put some shellac on this. And for all of these, there are three or four. Let me see. That's the cane. There are three previous tutorials that I did on live. So in one of them you learn how to do the cane. The next one you learn how to do beads using cabochon molds. And then the one that was yesterday is showing you, and also in the one with the beads I showed how to make the faux turquoise and the faux coral. And then there's a separate video showing how to do the medallion, the focal point. And then the one yesterday showing how to put stuff together. Unfortunately, as I said before, I have issues with my hands and everything that I cannot do a lot of putting jewelry together live. So if I do it on a separate tutorial, I can move, I can do, so that's why you don't see me putting jewelry together very often, especially not on live. But I hope that you liked it and that you will try your own. And as I said yesterday, I purchased a few more, and I will put the link to the molds in the video description. I forgot, I need to put it in the yesterday's, because what I used in this was this mold, and I used this one, and this one. But I got from PolyClay, and I also have the almond cabochons. I got from PolyClay two more cabochon molds that I'm definitely going to do some more tutorials on making beads using cabochon molds. And I don't know, maybe we'll make one with the Celtic cane. We'll see. I hope you... Hi, Susan. I'm glad you like it. I hope that you liked making this, and you liked this, and you'll make one of your own. And don't forget, if you see this for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe and spread the word about my channel to your friends, because I post free tutorials at least once a week. I have every Sunday at 12:30 noon Central Time a live, unless otherwise, but very rarely I miss one of the lives. And you go from there. And I do paid tutorials, but I promised from the very beginning that I will always make 4 free tutorials per 1 paid tutorial. And as you can see, my channel is not monetized, so you will not see any kind of advertising. So hoping you'll have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being here with me, and now let's hope that I know how to stop the live. Happy claying.